I got lucky. I got lucky. I could have been killed today. I have 5 kids. This is a quote coming from an Uber driver that went through a horrendous experience. However, the experience the Uber driver went through is not the main issue in this story. It is how Uber handled what was going on. What up, folks? Once again, it is your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. In this story, this gives you all of the details that any driver would need. In some cases, even driving with Lyft, but this is an Uber story to make it clear beyond a shadow of a doubt that Uber does not give a damn about your safety as a driver. Now, this happened in Zion, Illinois. It is a northern suburb of the city of Chicago, and it happened at 1 a.m. So what do we always say at 1 a.m.? Nothing good happens after midnight. But there's a hell of a lot of red flags to this. But once again, it's not the story. It's how Uber responded. I want you to hear that part at the end. Nevertheless, this comes from an article titled, Zion Uber driver beaten, robbed, shot at by group just hours before another attack, police say. That another attack, we're going to detail that, and that is where the main issue is. Now, this driver had been driving since 2017, suggesting this is his second source of income. So he's not even a full-time driver, but he is out at 1 a.m. And unfortunately, 1 a.m., when you're out at when you're out in the wee hours of the morning, we always tell you it increases the statistical probability of bad shit happening to you. And this story certainly qualifies as that. So according to the driver, sitting around at the location waiting for the customer to come out when 4 people come out of the residence. Now, the driver continues to say, the driver said the passengers in the front seat immediately put a gun to his head while the backseat passengers beat him. The victim's phones were taken and he sped away as the 4 suspects managed to jump out of the car. So in this case, the driver was completely overwhelmed. I say it in all my videos. You should carry defensive tools on you at all times. Mace, something to slice or poke wood up to and including a firearm if you're comfortable with it. However, in this situation, I don't really know what the driver could have done other than what he did, and that is trying to make a dash for the exit. Just simply sped off, forcing them to jump out of the damn car. Because if they get in your vehicle, somebody's in the front seat with a gun, somebody's in the back seat beating the hell out of you, you're not going to pull out a defensive tool unless you just happen to get lucky and fight your way out of all of that. However, one thing I want to point out as well, red flag, picking 4 people up in the middle of the night, that sounds a bit strange. Why the hell are 4 people sitting around at 1 a.m. needing a ride? I understand sometimes it happens, but I encourage on my platform to discriminate. Don't do shit you don't feel comfortable with. In my humble opinion, 4 people getting in your car at 1 a.m. is a recipe for a disaster, certainly in certain neighborhoods. Zion, Illinois may qualify as one of those neighborhoods to some of my drivers in the Chicago market that may be aware of what goes on up north. But 4 passengers in the middle of the night like that, I'm no fan of it. In fact, I'm no fan of driving at 1 a.m., period. But I understand many of you folks prefer driving those off-hour shifts. Just understand this is the kind of thing that does happen. Now, continuing this story where it just gets harrowing is once the driver took off, missing his phone, no GPS device, no way to dial 911 after being robbed, he took off but ended up on a dead-end street and had to turn around. According to the driver, the assailants were in the middle of the road. He believes they thought he was trying to run him over, which his ass definitely should have been trying to do. Nevertheless, they did start taking shots at him. So they were firing at his car. Fortunately, they didn't hit anybody. But here is the worst part of the story. Even though we're discussing yet another routine carjacking attempt, it happens so damn much, it's starting to appear routine. But listen to this. Zion police, the police in that town, Zion police said it took over an hour for Uber to release any information about who requested the ride. Why the hell is that? Even the driver said, even Zion Police Department was surprised that Uber wasn't sharing any information with them, the driver said. So I want to point that out because we often talk about the fact that Uber is more concerned with protecting the privacy of somebody who may rob your ass than you as a driver and your family getting justice in any event something happens to you and you lose your life. They're going to defend that passenger's privacy rights first. And then after that, they may help you or your family get some type of justice. But even the Zion Police Department was surprised, like, why the hell are they not releasing information? I've done many stories like this. I think one of them was even a homicide where the law enforcement officials were having a difficult time getting Uber to release information. I believe Lyft may be a little bit more forthcoming, but I certainly hear these stories often in regards to Uber. And it only gets worse. Not only did Uber take their sweet time to release the information, listen to this conclusion. Eventually, Uber was able to share information with police. However, it was not in time to prevent a female Uber driver from being robbed by the same suspects 2 hours later, 1 block away from the first robbery. On Tuesday, detectives canvassed the area looking for leads. So they haven't caught the assailants, but listen to what was in that. Uber taking their sweet damn time to give the authorities what they needed to try to track these folks down, gave the assailants enough time to carjack a second woman, another Uber driver. So clearly they were on a mission of targeting us drivers, summoning us drivers to locations to be victimized. And because Uber was hesitant, it gave these folks time to do it again. They don't give a damn about our safety, folks. Understand that. So when you read the terms of service and they're telling you not to carry weapons and shit, and you realize that even your loved ones in the event you pass on may not even get cooperation from the companies, keep that in mind when you're deciding to deliberately drive unarmed because you don't want to violate the terms of service. Just think about that. Nevertheless, Uber finally released a statement suggesting that they took off they basically banned the account of whoever did this from requesting rides in the future. But that is meaningless after 2 people have been carjacked by them. Most likely they're not going to try to request any additional trips anyway. They have to know by now the authorities are on their trail. I would submit to you that probably when it comes to the criminals, they don't even realize how slow Uber or Lyft is to give up information. I'm assuming that even they realize, shit, we can't keep doing this. They're going to tell on us. But taking time to the point where even the damn police department is like, what the hell is taking you so long to get the information up? They need to be sued for this, particularly by the second driver that was carjacked. Because even the story is suggesting that gave them time to do this again, only 1 block away from where they did it the first time. Hopefully they get caught, but by no help of Uber at all. Keep your defensive tools on you, folks. Stay safe. As always, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.